You're listening to Viking Radio, coming to you from Dream Street Studios at Del Mar College. Now your host, Dr. Natalie Chapa.
Good morning, Coastal Bend, and welcome to Viking Radio. It is a beautiful, cloudy morning this morning, and I've got Mr. Rob Bettis with me on the mic today.
Hello.
Good morning, Rob. Rob is usually in the background. Today he's got a mic, so I apologize in advance because we just don't know what's going to come out of Mr. Bettis' mouth, but we'll see.
I'll be good.
So he says 30 seconds in. Well, everybody, we've got a really great show today. So many of you know Mr. Ben Molina as a former city council member for District 2, which is my district, my councilman. But now Mr. Molina has taken on a new adventure in these past couple of years as the executive director of Habitat for Humanity. Ben, welcome on the show.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. I'm really happy to be here.
So I know that a lot of people have seen you in different roles. You've lived here, I believe, most of your life?
Most of my life. I did the math just the other day. I've been here for just about 30 years. I've been here in the Coastal Bend area.
So where did you grow up?
Kerrville, Texas.
Okay, I did not know that about you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're a Kerrville kid. Okay, man, as a small town person, I'm so good at knowing mascots because of athletics.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know Kerrville.
No?
What's Kerrville?
The antlers. Tybee antlers.
Oh, I think I did know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many deer over there, and so antlers, yeah.
What brought you to Corpus?
I moved here back when I was maybe about 17, 18 years old, and for me, I had family here growing up, so Corpus Christi was always a place that we'd get to come visit. And coming from Kerrville, Corpus Christi was a big city for me.
This is a big city. Yeah.
And so I got to see all the things that we didn't have in Kerrville, all the shops, all the restaurants, the beach, of course,
the movies,
everything. Yes. And so anytime that we took a trip here to the Coastal Bend area, it was always special. And so as a teenager, I loved the area so much. I had family already living over here, like I said, and so I talked to my mom and said, "Hey, Mom, what do you think about me, staying over here with so and so?" And so we talked it all out, and everyone was agreeable, and that's how I got my foot in the door here in the Coastal Bend area.
I love that. I think some people don't realize, because I'm a small town kid too, Orange Grove. It's like we came to the city,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to the restaurants, to the movies, back when Sunrise Mall had dollar movies.
Cue the Journey song.
And I knew you weren't going to behave, Rob. And so I totally get that from a small town kid perspective. Yeah. And so when I met you, it was through Leadership Corpus Christi.
Mm-hmm.
You were on our steering committee, I think with Dr. Hernandez. You were on SteerCom. Weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you were. I was saying, I know you were.
Yeah.
And at least that's
was
how
a while
I remember it. I know.
ago.
And at the time, you were a small business owner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still am.
Still are. Okay, tell people about that, because that's really, you came up through the community as a business owner, and it still are.
Yes, yeah. So way back when, I had was working for a engineering company, and so I was doing drafting. I stood behind a computer and I did floor plans, stuff like that. As a matter of fact, there at Habitat, the construction manager pulled out an old set of plans from 2008, and my initials are on there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
You're like, man, that was me.
I did that. Yeah. I wonder if that house is still standing.
We're gonna need to get that address, Rob.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little Welta around and see if it's still a
welfare check. Yeah. So then a couple of years into it, we opened up a roofing company, and so I had been with the company for so long, for so many years, that when the original owner had finally decided to retire, he came up to me, and we kind of had some conversations before, and the conversation was, hey, Ben, I'm on my way out of the door. We got a good thing going here. You know what we're doing here, the ins and outs. Um, would you be interested in? And so at the time we were only doing commercial roofing. And through my experience with the engineering company, I had met other residential roofers. And there's a friend of mine who did residential roofing. And so I asked him if he'd like to be involved because I had always wanted to get into the residential market. And this would be a good opportunity to get that going.
It's great when things align like that.
And so we all of us sat down, worked out a deal, and the previous owner moved up the country, up north, to retire, and myself and my business partner, we just kind of made our own way here in the area, and we were doing well enough that when the time came for me to run, that was a conversation we had. At the beginning, I kind of knew what I was asking for, maybe, not really.
Because that is a full-time job, city council.
And
Yeah.
I said,
At least if you do it correctly.
to do it right, yeah.
Which you did.
Thank you. I had said, it's going to take a lot of time, and so he says, well, take the time you need, and I'll hold down the fort here, and that's how we were able to make things work. I'm still involved, but just nowhere near the capacity
Sure.
that I used to be.
Well, yeah, because again, you have shifted in the community in such a great way. So, we talked a little bit about, District 2, you were our council member for a while, but now, so, I'm connecting it now. Because when I heard that you were the executive director for Habitat for Humanity, I'm like, wow, look at Ben just like going somewhere new. But it's
Oh.
connection. Like what you just talked about,
Yeah.
it's right up your alley. So talk about Habitat for Humanity, how you got there and what's going on right now.
Yeah, so Habitat for Humanity, it was actually the first nonprofit board I sat on years ago.
Okay.
I actually termed out as president.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Minnie Choppa's texting me. Text you later, Mom.
Yeah, so I had
Silence your phones, everybody. Please. This is a professional radio show.
That's Mike's line.
It's because Mike's not here. No, Mike's gallivanting in Europe while we're holding down the fort.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so back to Ben.
Yes.
You said Habitat for Humanity. Sorry.
Yeah.
We
So
digress.
it's the first nonprofit board I sat on many years ago, termed out as president, and our engineering company had done the floor plans and inspections for them pro bono, so I was very involved at the very beginning, and so it's always had a special place in my heart, and even then they had gone through a period of transitions where they were just going through like a revolving door of executive directors.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And, at each moment, I had made an effort to reach out to each one of them and try to build a relationship because we still wanted to stay involved. We still donated. We still supported them. We donated roofing materials and labor to them.
Wow.
So we wanted to maintain that relationship. And it was just tough because, as soon as we started getting somewhere, that person had moved on.
And then you're starting over again.
And all
Yes.
different reasons, right?
Right.
And so finally got to a point where we just kind of backed off and said, well, let them find someone permanent, and then once they have someone, we can start trying again to maintain that relationship. So they had hired Stephen Pierce, my predecessor, great guy, love the guy, and but he had only been there for less than a year before he needed to move on.
Okay.
Okay. And so, but he left on good terms, and so I was actually serving on their family selection committee, and so I was talking to the board members. I said, "Hey, you'll never guess," and I said, "Don't tell me." They said, "Yeah, Steven's moving on." And so I was like, "Oh man,
It's so hard when you find a great leader and you're like, oh, it's going great.
Yeah.
And then something happens. Again, he
Steven,
had to, yeah,
he
had to
had
go.
been there for several months, and I thought, man, this is a guy. Yeah, and so we reached out, we made that connection, and so then when I got the news that he left, I reached out to my business partner and I said, hey, these guys need some help. I love serving the community. That's where my heart is, right? And especially with Habitat. And so we had a conversation. I said, hey, do you mind if I just go and help them for a little bit? Let them.
Famous last words of a fool.
Yes. Yeah. So I said,
Just for a little
let's. I said it's interim. Give them some time to find the right person, and then we can go back to maintain that relationship. And so I get there, and we all agreed, this is interim, and they're going to do their big search, to find the right person. And so I get there, and I see what I can do, the value I bring, and I thought, I'm really enjoying
Do
this.
this.
I can do this. I've got the background, I've got the network. And so I talked to my business partner, talked to my wife. I said, "What do you guys think?"
That woman, Jen, is a saint.
She's the most patient woman in the
She
world.
is so patient. Like I'm very similar. So I feel like sometimes I go home and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I've been thinking. And so I can imagine how many times you've gone home and been like, babe.
Yeah, she's talked me down from some things for the better. I think after the fact, thinking about it. But no, she's been so supportive, and so and any time I've ran for office, anytime I've thought about taking on another initiative, she's always been part of the conversation. Her and my business partner, couldn't do it without him.
And I
without
think
that
that's
support system.
such a when you're in a committed relationship, right? It's got to be a package deal in that. It's got to be like, yeah, if I'm going to do this, we have to do this. It is such a commitment from the family, right? And from the
Yes.
household. And I
Yeah.
know that your family has lived that. You keep talking about Habitat having your heart
Mhm.
and your love for this. What is it about it?
It's special because what I love the most about it is you'll see it when we go through the ceremonies, right? We just had a groundbreaking ceremony. We'll have wall raising ceremonies. The biggest one is the key ceremony, where we turn over the keys to the family, and that's special because you're seeing not just one single person, but you're seeing a family's life being transformed in real time right in front of your eyes.
It's powerful.
It's yeah, and when you think about it, um, just at this last house, right? There was it's a single mother. She's got two little girls, sweet girls, and their house was the one that we were building during Buck Days. And so at the end of Buck Days, we've got the whole frame up, right? So you can see the skeleton of the house, where all the rooms are. You can see the kitchen, the living room, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, and the little girls are they grab me by the hands, and they're running me around. Look! This is where this is where my bedroom is. This is where I'm going to put my toys. This is where we're going to have dinner. And so it does something for me. It's powerful.
What does it do for you?
Ah,
I'm
man.
gonna make you go deep,
No,
Ben.
don't do that.
Because I'm already freaking crying over here. So I need to pass the heat on to you because as a kid, in a working class family, sometimes in the 80s it was great, and when it was great, man,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were rolling, and when it wasn't great, it wasn't great, and
Yeah.
there were struggles with working parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working prideful parents, and so this just. God, I'm going to take the heat off of
Yeah.
me so that I don't cry, and I'm putting it back on you. What is it, Ben? What does it do? Where does it get you?
Having that stable place to call home, knowing that there's a safe place, knowing that you can go home, and for our children, that's a place where the outside world can't touch them, right? It's a place where they have a place where they can do their homework. They can run out to the kitchen and grab a snack. It's little things like that a lot of people take for granted, right? They have a backyard they could play in. One of the families sent me a picture not too long ago. They had just moved in, and their little girl, they were already celebrating their first birthday in their house, and so she sent me a picture of her daughter with the little birthday hat and the cake and the decorations behind her, right? They weren't able to do that before, and so it's a place where they're going to create memories for the rest of their lives. These children are going to look back and say, "Hey, I remember we had this house, and before, we didn't have a place of our own." The families that we select, they go through a process, and part of the selection process is a site visit. So we actually go out to where they're living already, and we're seeing the conditions that they're in, and a lot of it is substandard living conditions. They're either living in
Yeah, what does that mean? Substandard.
If they're living in an apartment, sometimes the apartment has holes in the flooring, the water heater's not working. Just there's mold, right? It's just not good
So
conditions.
your basic shelter is dangerous.
Yeah,
It's
just
not safe. It's not conducive
Yeah.
for healthy living.
You don't want to raise your family there, but they have no other
We
way.
have no choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or one of the other things that we see is overcrowding.
Right,
It's a
yes.
family that's already living with another family member, and there's several adults, several other children that aren't siblings, and one of our families, a single mother, she's got 3 kids, and they were staying in one bedroom in her parents' house. And I was talking to one of the little girls, and she says, she loves doing arts and crafts, but she can't do them at the table because grandma has all of her stuff
Right.
out.
Too much going on.
Yeah, and so she doesn't have a place to do her arts and crafts. Well, now she does.
Now she does.
You know?
We'll be right back.
This is where it all starts, where dreams take off and what's next becomes clear. This is Heritage Campus at Del Mar College, home to core classes in arts, sciences, and business, with upgraded facilities and faculty who provide a quality education that transfers with you wherever you're headed. This is a place of creativity, possibility, and success. A place to excel, a place to grow. This is where you belong. Learn more at dmcdreams.com.
This show is a production of Del Mar College, where continuing education courses can get you in the workforce fast, including workforce skills awards that are stackable towards Del Mar College credit programs. Own your dreams at Del Mar College. Go online at delmar.edu/CE. This is Viking Radio.
We're talking with Mr. Ben Molina, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, also businessman in the community and former city council member. Ben, I think this is quickly turning into my favorite episode. I was not prepared for the level of emotion this conversation was going to do for me, because what you're talking about, so many of us take for granted, because when you've never had to worry about shelter, or like you first, one of the first things you said a little while ago, safe space.
Yeah.
When it's so easy to take that for granted, because for so many of us, it's, we have parents that their salaries can't afford, whereas some of these people are working. Some of these people, it's not that they're just out there not doing anything.
No, they work hard.
They're working
They work hard.
Yeah. But again, it's a testament to how hard it is out there.
Yeah, and these homes, we don't give them away. That we sell them to our families at a 0% interest rate, so it dramatically reduces the monthly payment to where it's something that they can afford. And another part of the program is that they have to have sweat equity hours. And so
What is that? What's sweat? I like that. Sweat equity hours. What is that?
So part of our program is, one of the requirements is that they have to be willing to partner with us, and they do that by, when we say sweat equity, we mean that you've got to show up to the job site, whether it's your house or another family's house, and you're working right alongside the rest of our volunteers, and you're driving nails, you're moving plywood, you're working on the house. You're helping to build your own home. And
God, there's pride in that.
there is
Yeah.
One of the things that we do is during one of our ceremonies, so we have our families come out and their friends and people they know, and they come out and they write messages on the studs before we put all the sheetrock on there, and they'll write scriptures, they'll write prayers, blessings, and then at the end of it, our family's fingerprints are all over the inside of this house.
It's
right?
their house. Yeah.
And so it's they literally put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's a place that they no one can take that away from them. And so it really is. We're not in the home building business. We're in the life changing business. We just happen to do it by building homes.
Stop making me cry, Ben Molina. Hate you. And Rob, don't think I don't see you over there getting emotional too. I've just been leaving you alone.
I'm looking at the flowers.
There ain't no flowers out here in Del Mar College. We're in a drought. we have grass because it rained. Then what's for our community members? What do you need? What does the organization need from our community? What kind of support?
First and foremost, financial support. No money, no mission. We can't do what we do without being able to fund the mission. Now, we have some funds right now. We have some properties right now. But the more we have, the more we can do. And so we do our best to make every dollar stretch as far as we can get it. We work out deals with vendors and suppliers. One of the things that can really help us is we have our Habitat for Humanity Restore located at 1901 Lipan.
Okay.
And that is a resale shop that people can donate furniture, household items. We offer free pickup, and so if you've got an old couch that's still in good condition, you've got appliances that are still in good condition, give our office a call. We'll schedule a pickup, and so we have this resale shop. We've had it for forever.
I've heard, people always in the
time.
community are always talking about how awesome this store is.
So the money we raise there goes towards the mission. It helps cover overhead, and it helps put money into our account so that we can continue building homes. We also have a ramp building program where we build ramps for accessibility needs for whether it's senior citizens or just someone with a medical condition that needs help with access into their home.
I didn't know that. How does somebody from the community take advantage of that?
Oh, call our office. We there's a set of requirements that they have to meet. So we serve not just, although we're called Habitat for Humanity Corpus Christi, we serve both Nueces and San Patricio counties. And so if there's a need in either county in those areas, we'll do what we can to help meet that need.
So you serve Nueces and San Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much today, Ben. And so the number that I have for you that I text you this morning, thanks a lot, Mike B. Instead of just texting the number I had in my phone for you, 361-289-1740.
Yes, that's
right?
the office
is the
number.
number at the office. And so if you're a community member out there, either number one, who wants to give, right, time or resources, call.
Yes.
But if you're also a community member out there who might need some support,
definitely, yes.
like help with, like you mentioned, the ramp building program, then also call
yes.
as well.
Yes, yeah. We'll connect you to the right staff members, and we'll do what we can to help.
This is amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Really.
That means a lot coming from you.
I've seen you do a lot of great things in this community. In fact, I always remember when you were a council member and Eric would be like, there's the pack of dogs that Ben was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm calling him right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, do not call Ben.
Yeah, yeah, I
Because he's
remember
like,
that.
no, that pack of dogs is dangerous. I'm like, do not call the city councilman because there's a pack of dogs. He's like, I'm calling him.
Yeah, yeah.
The things that couples fight about. But in all jokes, there was a dangerous, pack of dogs back then.
The
And
Del
I
Mar
was
dog
so
pack. I remember
embarrassed.
that.
And he gets you on the phone, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm like, Ben, I'm sorry, Ben.
I remember that.
And you were so gracious about it. You're like, no, man, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I always appreciate.
But we got him. We got him.
We got the
Yeah,
dogs, and it was
yeah.
a safety issue for the
It was.
neighborhood.
It was.
They were hurting animals. People were afraid to walk, so it was not just like a random pack of dogs. But it always that story always reminds me how willing you were always to answer the phone, because city council is a very, very challenging job, and
Yeah.
you did it well. Do you ever think about continuing in politics?
Yes and no.
Mhm.
Right. I like where I'm right now. My stress level is nowhere near where it was. Although it can be at sometimes. But serving as the executive director for Habitat for Humanity, like I said earlier, that's where my heart is serving the community, and this is a great way to do it. Without that level of stress that can come along with serving at City Hall. Although I loved it, I had a great experience. I felt like I was able to accomplish a lot and help a lot of people. The thought does cross my mind sometimes, and maybe that's something that I look at in the future.
Plenty of time,
There's
And
God willing, yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that in Leadership Corpus Christi, and that you don't have to do everything all at once, because when you do the leadership program, you're on fire.
Oh yeah,
And you're like,
you
I
want to
wanna
do it all,
this,
yes.
and I want to do that. And we talked to the class at the end, right? It's like, pick something that you're really passionate about, that you want to give, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Right. And so, in fact, I'm thinking right now, you were also one of the superheroes. You were given that.
Yes.
Which superhero were you again?
Spider Ben.
That's right. That's right, because we were all
Yeah.
Spider Ben, Spider Ben.
Yeah. So that was a really cool thing. My time on council, I always introduce myself as your friendly neighborhood councilman.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
and so the young professionals at the Coastal Bend, they do that superhero event every year where they pick someone in the community, and because I stuck with that tagline, they picked me and said, "Yeah, we're going to call you Spider Ben."
It was awesome.
I got
It
a
was
really cool
awesome.
bobblehead out of
The
it.
bobbleheads are
Yeah,
my favorite.
yeah.
So cool. I can only aspire one day to have a superhero bobblehead. Dr. Escamilla has one too, and I'm so jealous. But thank you so much for being here and spending time with
thank
us
you.
today. Not only for being here and spending time with us, but to you and the staff and all the volunteers at Habitat for Humanity. You are doing amazing work out there, positive work that we're loving to talk about on the show right now, because there's so much challenging discussions and negativity happening, that you brought some massive light to our work today. So thank you, Ben.
I appreciate
again.
you. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll see you back soon, so that
Definitely.
maybe you can come and talk to us about some other great things or needs that are happening with the organization, with
Certainly.
Habitat.
Anytime.
And everybody, I hope you really enjoyed listening to Ben today. He gave such great information on Habitat for Humanity. Again, 361-289-1740. If you're either interested in volunteering, or if there's a need that you have that matches the resources that Habitat gives, give them a call. Have a great rest of your day, Coastal Bend.
This show is a production of Del Mar College. Follow us on Spotify at Viking Radio.